sensing a theme in our games of the week. We've got rematches back and forth and back and forth. Maumee Valley at Emmanuel Christian, the rematch. This at 7:15 on BCSN app this Friday. Maumee Valley 14-6, number 3 in the Max Preps RPI for D4. Emmanuel Christian, number 4 in the state polls, but number 1 in the Max Preps RPI for D3 Northwest 2. The lone loss for Emmanuel Christian in the TAAC coming to Toledo Christian, but they also, Emmanuel Christian did beat Maumee Valley in OT on January 13th. So a rematch we've been looking forward to. The TAAC title not necessarily decided yet, right? Emmanuel Christian wins this. They're still in it, able to at least tie. And then Maumee Valley trying to knock everybody back to their level to put themselves back in contention, Justin.
Yeah, if you take a look at the standings within the league there, Toledo Christian and Emmanuel Christian both 7-1, Maumee Valley Country Day 6-2. So if you want to win a title, Maumee Valley Country Day, this is the definition of a must-win. You need to go out and win and get closer to the top. But we'll see an even maybe juicier matchup next week with Toledo Christian and Emmanuel Christian, possibly, depending on the outcome of this one and some other games.
For a league title, right.
For an outright league title. So that's going to be great. And then you mentioned the rematch. These two teams met back on January 13th. The game was great. The post-game was not. It got a little ugly. Parents coming out of the stands, too many people on the court. I'm told that this will be a safe environment for fans, players, coaches, community members to come to this. They've taken some extra security measures to make sure that administrators are there in full force and making sure that everything is run properly. So no issues should arise as a result. But what these coaches said, Harris and Dontavian Fleming, they're going to be prepared. There are some younger coaches in the area, but have had tremendous success, know how to lead a program. And this matchup, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago when it was Whitmer and Finley, you know the stars, the top 2 players on each team, but these games are decided by a role player who steps up and gets 9 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and doesn't turn the ball over. That's the type of game plan that you're going to have and execution on the court to get a much-needed win in the league title race.
And you mentioned star power, right? We know we've got CJ Majors, Amani Dixon, both sitting at 20, 21 points per game for Maumee Valley. We know Nate Miles, 27 points a game, almost 9.4 rebounds a game. Jalen Brown sitting at 20 points per game. How do those 4 players make this game happen? Or in the case of, similar to last week, Antoine West, not make the game happen?
Well, and it's always down to your stars. You got to look at guys like Nate Miles, and you got to say, okay, you got to take the role of LeBron James. You got to be the facilitator, but you also got to still be the star on the court. Mm-hmm. When it's crunch time and they need a point, it's got to come from you. When we need a rebound, you got to get it. We need a defensive play, you got to get it. And on the other side, the same thing for CJ Majors. The spotlight is on those 2 guys. Obviously, the off-the-court stuff got this thing a little bit more spicy than it need to be. But you know what? That's okay. It's high school sports. The emotion's going to be there. Fans go break their screens after watching the Chiefs, win a Super Bowl, So people get out of pocket sometimes. But on the court, you're going to see the fire and the passion from what these guys are practicing. And like you said, Justin, these 2 coaches are going to have these teams prepared. But the favor is in Emmanuel Christian's way. So Maumee Valley's got to find a way to slow this offense down and be able to get points and not get in foul trouble like they did last time.
And you talk about Emmanuel Christian last week, maybe didn't have their best game against Ottawa Hills. Is that something Mike Rabb and I talked about before? Is Maumee Valley watching that tape, or is that just chalked up to, hey, we just came out a little bit flat? That's not the Emmanuel we're going to see.
Yeah, you know what? I would attribute to possibly Ottawa Hills and rising to the occasion. They have a stellar long-term coach in John Lindsay who maximizes his team and executes on the court, and they're fundamentally sound. And I think it's just that. It's hard to win in division, in conference, in any sport, at any level. And that was attributable possibly to that matchup there, as you mentioned. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this matchup because I love the small school, small gym flavor where it's packed. And at BCSN, we pride ourselves in spreading the wealth. We're not just going to the bigger Division I schools over and over and over again. We feature game of the week in the TAAC. So we'll have Brad Woznicki and Darren Cohn on the call for this one. We're looking forward to it live on the BCSN app.
Television's Brad Woznicki?
Yes.
I can't wait. I was excited. Now it's worse. What more can you ask for, though, late in the season than a matchup that can help decide a league title on a Friday night in a packed gym? We're super excited for it.